Welcome to Film Grind. I'm Shawn Burkett and I'll be your host as we journey into the ins and outs of the independent film industry. And today we are going to talk about something that I have had several people ask about. Gear. That's right, it's a crazy world out there and there is a ton of gear. But we don't always have the money for everything we'd like to have, so today we're basically going to go over two packages that I feel you should be able to make a film with. Package A and B. Let's get into this. Package A is becoming more and more popular because everyone has a cell phone. Not only that, most people have a smartphone. And if you didn't know, your smartphone records in a minimum of 1080. But most smartphones nowadays, if you've bought one in the last 2 years, will record 4K. I could compare cell phones back and forth, but personally, I don't know. I am an Apple user, so I'm going to go with what I know. So this package contains an iPhone. And since I already have an iPhone, I'm not going to add that to the budget. And remember, all the products that I am listing are things that I have used. I'm not sponsored by any of these products whatsoever, but I could be. But let's get into apps. There are tons of filmmaking apps out there. There are literally like 500. I prefer to use an app called Pro Movie Plus, and it is $2.99 in the App Store. With this app, you can change your ISO, your white balance, your focus area. It is basically like turning your cell phone into a DSLR, which makes cell phone footage not look like cell phone footage. Next, I would recommend a gimbal of some sort. There are tons of cell phone gimbals out there. I personally prefer to use DJI gimbals. They're just amazing. So my gimbal of choice would be the DJI OM4, which is their latest cell phone gimbal, and it comes with a nifty app that allows you to active track. That's right. Literally, in the app, you select your actor and say you have a long walking shot, but you want to rotate around them. Well, hey, all you got to do is walk because active track is going to follow that person. Also with this app comes a focus lock. So as long as you stay pretty close to the same distance away, your actor or actress will always be in focus. Moving on, let's talk about audio. Audio is a very important part of filmmaking. It is just as important as video quality, in my opinion. So this is where I like to go overboard. But for under $100, you can grab a Rode VidMic Go or the GoPro, and boom, you have perfect audio for medium to tight shots. But if you're going for something wide and you have actors talking, I would highly recommend the Rode Wireless Go 2. This is a lav system to where you can not only plug in lavs, but you can also use the transmitters as microphones. They have microphones built in. Speaking of other things that are built in, you can actually back up your audio that you record in the transmitter. And keep in mind, there are definitely cheaper options out there. These are just things I use. These are things that I know are quality. Now on to lighting. Honestly, something that I have just stumbled across are these nifty little lights that I am actually using 3 right now for this video. They are called Vigem, and they are just awesome. I'm going to take one. They are this big. They are tiny. They are awesome. You charge them via USB-C, and these things last forever. I've used these here on YouTube. I've used these in my features. They're amazing. There's also one in the back that is RGB functioned, so you can have any color you want. And that pretty much wraps up package A, which I didn't calculate the math beforehand and put it in my notes, so this package costs. Now on to package 2. Not only is it a huge jump in price, it's also a huge jump in quality and sensor size in your camera, which does matter. So for my camera of choice, I would go with the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera 4K, which is currently what I'm shooting on with a Panasonic Lumix 12mm lens. This camera is currently going for about $1,300 on Amazon, but there are so many functions with it. You can shoot in RAW, you can shoot in various forms of ProRes, you can shoot in 4K, 2.5K, 1080, even 720. And with each one of those, you get a different variable of frame rates in which you can shoot in. And I personally love this camera because it is a workhorse. I have put it through extreme temperature changes and never had a problem with it. And with this camera, you have 3 different options for storage. You can use an SD card, a CFast card, or plug in an external hard drive, which I recommend a Samsung T5 external hard drive, which you can pick up for about $150 for a terabyte hard drive. And with this hard drive, even shooting in the lowest form of 4K, you're gonna get a minimum of 500 minutes of recording time. Next, we are on to stabilization, and stabilization, in my opinion, is a very important thing. And we're gonna choose another company in which I love, DJI. Over the years, we have used several different stabilizers from DJI, from the Ronin M to the Ronin S, the Ronin SC, and now the Ronin RSC2 Pro. And there is a big price difference between the Ronin RSC2 Pro and the Ronin RSC2. So for this budget package, we're gonna go with the RSC2, which is currently about $499. But if you can swing it, I highly recommend the Pro. It's $999 and you get a follow focus motor and everything, Raven Eye, so you have wireless monitoring. It's beautiful. From here, we need to talk about the importance of lenses, because at this point, you're probably going to be swapping out lenses. I prefer the Rokinon series lenses, and they are beautiful. They are an affordable grade of cinema prime lenses that you can get from anywhere from $1,200 to $2,500. And that's buying a whole kit. So 5 lenses. Honestly, I bought the whole kit and I ended up buying an extra lens, and I used 3 lenses mainly, which are 14mm, 24mm, and 35mm. Which if you just buy those lenses or buy the 3 lenses that you mainly need, you know, you're looking at about $1,200. But 80% of the time, we're normally using a 24mm lens. So if you want to save some money, get one lens that's kind of a medium lens. That way, you can use it for a little bit of everything. Now, on to audio. Like I said, audio is a very important part of this process. If you have great video and crappy audio, people are going to be distracted. They're gonna tune out. It's a thing. So at this point, I would go with a Rode Series NTG microphone of some sort, probably the 4 Plus, and I would pair that with the Tascam, I believe it's MK60D2 field recorder. And finally, let's talk about lighting. At this point, I feel like you would need 5 lights, and that would be 3 key lights and 2 fill lights. And there are a billion different options out there: wired lights, wireless lights, LED panels, bow and mount. And honestly, I noticed that I have kind of been accumulating just random lights just to try them out, to see if they're different, because every light, there is something different about them that can help your production. So here's what I am going to recommend. There's the newer 3-piece lighting kit. It comes with 3 660 LED panels, light stands, power cords, and carrying cases. These are bicolored lights, and they do come with medium-sized stands. Personally, always buy your stands separate, and if you can afford it, buy some C stands. And then again, the VGM lights, I'm loving them. They are great for just little fills. They hide very easily. I highly recommend these. So let's get down to business. Package A. This is great for anyone starting out in film who wants to just be able to go out and shoot something. It's affordable and it's not a huge risk. And even if you end up upgrading to something else, you still have this setup to record BTS footage or even documentaries. But if you're looking to upgrade your camera quality, I would totally go with package B. This is pretty much the package that I upgraded to about 2 years ago, which actually I just upgraded again. Listen, it's a thing. There will always be the want to produce better quality. But like I said, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K is a workhorse. I actually bought the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K, tested it out, sent it back, and bought the 4K. And then they came out with the 6K Pro, and I bought one of those, and it's now my new favorite. But either way, the most important thing that you need to do is research. Research all of these products before you buy anything. Don't just go buy it because somebody on YouTube said so. Do your research. Read the reviews. Watch the reviews. Weigh the pros and cons. And that pretty much does it for this episode. So be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. I'm Shawn Burkett, and thank you for taking this journey with me.